Today I'm going to read you a much bigger story from this book called East of the Sun, West of the Moon, which is old tales from the north. It is also unbelievably beautifully illustrated by Kay Nielsen, and I will make sure that I show you the photographs. East of the Sun, West of the Moon. Once upon a time there was a poor husbandman who had so many children that he hadn't either much of food or clothing to give them. They were all pretty children, but the prettiest was the youngest daughter, who was so lovely there was no end to her loveliness. One day, 'twas on a Thursday evening, late at the fall of the year. The weather was so wild and rough outside, and it was so cruelly dark, and rain fell, and wind blew so much that the walls of the cottage shook. There they all sat round the fire, busy with this thing and that. But just then, all at once, something gave 3 taps on the window pane. The father went out to see what was the matter, and when he got out of doors, what should he see but a great big white bear. "Good evening to you," said the bear. "The same to you," said the man. "Will you give me your youngest daughter? If you will, I'll make you as rich as you are now poor," said the bear. Well, the man would not be at all sorry to be rich, but he still thought he must have a bit of a talk with his daughter first. So he went in and told the family how there was a great white bear waiting outside, who had given his word to make them so rich if he could only have the youngest daughter. The lassie said no, outright. Nothing could get her to say anything else. So the man went out and settled it with the white bear that he should come again the next Thursday evening and get an answer. Meantime he talked his daughter round and kept on telling her of all the riches they would get and how well off she would be herself. And so at last she thought better of it, and washed and mended her rags, and made herself as smart as she could, and was ready to start out. I can't say her packing gave her much trouble. Next Thursday evening the white bear came to fetch her, and she got upon his back with her bundle, and off they went. So when they had gone a bit of the way, the white bear said, "Are you afraid?" No, she wasn't. "Well, mind and hold tight to my shaggy coat, and then there's nothing to fear," said the bear. So she rode a long, long way till they came to a great steep hill. There, on the face of it, the white bear gave a knock, and a door opened, and they came into a castle where there were many rooms all lit up, rooms gleaming with silver and gold. And there too was a table ready laid, and it was all as grand could be. The white bear gave her a silver bell, and when she wanted anything she was only to ring it, and she would get it at once. Well, after she had eaten and drunk and evening wore on, she got sleepy after her journey, and thought she would like to go to bed. So she rang the bell, and she had scarce taken hold of it before she came into a chamber where there was a bed made as fair and white as anyone would wish to sleep in, with silken pillows and curtains and a gold fringe. All that was in the room was gold or silver. But when she had gone to bed and put out the light, a man came and laid himself alongside her. It was the white bear who threw off his beast shape at night. But she never saw him, for he always came after she had put out the light, and before the day dawned he was up and off again. So things went on happily for a while, but at last she began to get silent and sorrowful. For she went about all day alone, and she longed to go home to see her father and mother and brothers and sisters. So one day when the white bear asked her what it was she lacked, she said it was so dull and lonely there. She longed to go home to see her father and mother and brothers and sisters, and that was why she was so sad and sorrowful, because she couldn't get to them. Well, well, said the bear, perhaps there's a cure for all this, but you must promise me one thing, not to talk alone with your mother, but only when the rest are nearby to hear, for she'll take you by the hand and try to lead you into a room alone to talk. But you must mind and not do that, else you'll bring bad luck on us both. One Sunday the white bear came and said now they could set off to see her father and mother. Well, off they started, she sitting on his back, and they went far and long. At last they came to a grand house, and there her brothers and sisters were running about out of doors at play, and everything was so pretty 'twas a joy to see. This is where your father and mother live now, said the white bear. But don't forget what I told you, else you'll bring bad luck on us both. No, bless her, she'd not forget. And when she had reached the house, the white bear turned right about and left her. Then, when she went in to see her father and mother, there was such joy. There was no end of it. None of them thought they could thank her enough for all she had done for them. Now they had everything they wished, as good could be, and they all wanted to know how she was getting on where she lived. Well, she said it was very good to live where she did. She had all she wished. What she said beside, I don't know. But I don't think any of them had the right end of the stick, or that they got much out of her. But in the afternoon, after they had done dinner, it had all happened as the white bear had said. Her mother wanted to talk alone with her in the bedroom, but she minded what the white bear had said, and she wouldn't go upstairs. Oh, what we have to talk about will keep, she said, and put her mother off. But somehow or other her mother got round her at last, and she had to tell her the whole story. So she said how every night when she had gone to bed, a man came and lay down beside her as soon as she had put out the light, and how she never saw him, because he was always up and away before the morning dawned, and how she went about woeful and sorrowing for the thought she should so like to see him, and how all day long she walked about there alone, and how dull and dreary and lonesome it was. My, said the mother, it may well be a troll you slept with, but now I'll teach you how to set eyes on him. I'll give you a bit of candle which you can carry home in your bosom. Just light that while he is asleep, but take care not to drop the tallow on him. And I'm going to continue this tomorrow.